Let's talk about Egypt because that corner of the continent seems beset with all kinds of troubles. Ethiopia still, Somaliland, Somalia, and now Egypt are telling their own people to get out of Somaliland.
As quickly as possible, they say. Go out of Hargeisa, which is the airport in the capital of Somaliland. Get out as soon as you can. The thing is, of course, now Somaliland got independence as British Somalia in 19. I do believe it was 1960, and same as the Italian Somalia got independence the same time. Then the two of them joined together. I don't know if I've told you this tale before. Maybe I have. To form the Greater Somalia. That didn't happen. They were going to take parts of Kenya and form the Greater Somalia. So Somaliland gave up its sort of independence, so to speak, in the name of a greater cause. Didn't happen. Siad Barre took over. It was a coup. He took over, and he was a complete monster. And he turned on Somaliland, and he hit Hargeisa so badly that people say not one stone stood on another. The way he used Hargeisa airport, the very airport that the Egyptians have to now escape to or from, to bomb the city of Hargeisa. So Siad Barre used his air force bombing the capital of Somaliland from Hargeisa airport. Shocking. So clearly when Siad Barre fell, yes?
Just remind me, what are the main reasons for Somaliland and Somalia having their differences? Is it cultural? Is it ethnic? Is it language? Is it religious? What's the main line of division there?
Well, the line of division being that the Somalilanders are different from the Somalis, or believe so, and then they had a greater hold. If you look at the Horn of Africa, that's seven, as it were. The top of the seven is Somaliland, and then there's Puntland, and then you go on to other territories. The point is, though, Siad Barre jealously wanted to promote Somalia, and that's why at the cost of the Somalilanders. That's why when he fell, the Somalilanders immediately declared independence. But in the interim, in that period between his fall in 91 and 1960, the African Organization of African Unity decided the only way they were going to clear up this whole colonial mess was to declare colonial boundaries sacrosanct. In other words, you could not gainsay them or counter them. The only one that's been able to do that, though, is Sudan, after one of the longest civil wars in Africa, and they allowed South Sudan to secede. It has been a difficult situation for them too, but Somaliland has had 5 elections now. I've observed 3 of those, and they're a genuine democracy. But the OAU will not recognize them, and no African power. South Africa would like to, Ethiopia would like to, but they always say we will be the second to recognize you. Somebody else has to take the lion's share first, or take the brave step first. So that's the situation. But now what Somaliland has done, it has given or ceded or leased to Ethiopia, which is landlocked because of their war with Eritrea. They're now a huge country, but landlocked. They've leased a huge section of their coastal strip along the Red Sea for Ethiopia to create a naval base. And that has sincerely pissed off the Somalians, and they are saying, we are now at daggers drawn with Ethiopia. Our sovereignty is sacrosanct, and there are many within the African Union now that still agree on Somalian sovereignty and sovereignty over Somaliland, which is an error. There are lots of Western powers are present in Somaliland, but clearly they can't recognize Somaliland, and fly in the face of the whole African Union. So it's a fraught issue, but it could be developing into a fighting war if it doesn't quieten down now, and that is why Egypt has said to its people, get out now, because it's becoming unsafe.
Wow, that part of Africa is just fraught with problems, and who knows who's going to be able to solve them. But I'm glad for the update from you. Just one last thing before we go. Apparently, there's been a research center in Guinea that was ransacked by locals. A chimpanzee. Chimpanzees can be very dangerous. People forget this. A chimpanzee killed a worker's baby, so they decided we're tearing this place apart, and they did.
I hope you didn't read and think that I was going to give you a happy animal story to end it with, because it's a very sad one. This is the Nimba Mountain Nature Reserve. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You know, the number of the chimpanzees and their numbers have fallen 80% between 1990 and 2014. 80%. So they radically endangered, and they're in this research station, UNESCO Heritage Site research station, working to forward the advance the cause of the chimpanzees and to help them to increase their numbers. And but the problem is the food around that area. There's droughts. I mean, the three areas where they have them are Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone. That's where the chimpanzees are located. And as you say, they're very dangerous. They turn on people, and they've been moving out of their safe zones because they have no food, moving into the human settlements. And there have been 6 attacks on humans this year by chimpanzees. But there was this woman digging up cassava, in the cassava field. She put her baby to one side. The chimpanzee came up to her, bit her, grabbed her infant baby and took it off and killed it. So the locals have just gone berserk and broken up the research station. They're absolutely incensed. But a very, very, very sad story. Very sad for the endangered species, but just as sad for the humans. And a sad story to end on, I'm afraid.
Well, it's not always good news. We're all adults, though. We can accept that. Thank you for trying. And that is that is a look at some of the stories. I'm sure there are many more, but we're out of time. JJ Cornish, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
And this is brought to you, this African Analysis, brought to you by the Johannesburg Business School. Make sure you join us in 2 weeks' time when we get to hear some more of these interesting stories from JJ.